Hey, this is Matthew from the SWYP 7-Minute Supersonic podcast. I'm here at the ADA with Sara and Zuelke from Garrison Dental, which is great.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Garrison. Tell us about the company.
Yeah. So Garrison, one reason I love coming to shows is we get to meet our customers. And what's great is we constantly have doctors walking by, and if they don't stop, they say, I love your products, or I have everything you guys sell. Right. And it's a great reception we always get at the show. So that feels really nice. But Garrison started back in 1996, and it was started by two doctors. Okay. So all the way back to our roots. And it was a father and son, Edgar and John Garrison, and they were just starting to get into composites at the time, where mostly it was amalgam before then. Right. And they just said, we need some better products to work with, and they said, we think we can make something. And so they had an engineering friend, and in their dental basement, like American businesses, starting in a basement, I love that story. They developed a new matrix ring, and it just exploded from there, and we've had many generations since. Right,
so prior to 96, so obviously if a dentist is using amalgam, they have no need for a matrix system.
Correct.
And what are the alternatives to a matrix system?
Yeah, so the most common alternative is a Toffelmeyer style system.
Okay.
And so that is using a circumferential band that goes all the way around the tooth. But there's some limitations to that.
Right.
It doesn't give you like a broad, deep contact that a ring is going to give you.
Okay.
It tends to be a pointed contact at the occlusal, and that puts a food trap below. So if you've ever had something caught in your teeth repeatedly, there's probably a food trap in that spot.
And that comes from
that comes from that situation oftentimes, and so this prevents that.
Got it. Mm-hmm. And so is this the newest matrix system here?
Yes. So it's the Compos-Tight 3D fusion system.
Right.
And there's been lots of upgrades to this latest generation. Right. One of the most unique things about the Garrison systems is that our matrix rings have a soft silicone face.
Right.
So you can see the colored part. So that soft silicone just creates the natural anatomy of the tooth. It hugs the band in. You don't have much flash to it.
Right.
And they work excellent. They're easy to use. And then our wide prep matrix ring, that's the only one like it.
Right.
And before, using a matrix system, you weren't able to do a really wide prep, even up to like a missing cusp. You can now do with a matrix ring.
Got it. So what are some of the advantages of this over other systems or other matrix systems out there?
Yeah, so that silicone face, we're the only ones that have that.
Right.
And you just get excellent separation. So the tines or the tips of the rings create great separation interproximally, moving the teeth apart.
Right.
So when they come back together again, you're getting a really nice tight contact, and that's really key for getting a good restoration.
So is there really a benefit to the long-term sort of restoration as far as it succeeding and sort of lasting longer with this, or is it just the gap?
Yeah.
Issue?
So when you have a contact that is what's naturally supposed to be there, so it goes from the occlusal down to the gingival, you're not having any gaps where you could get a carie again happening. And so for the long term, I think you're going to get a better outcome.
Right. What's the learning curve on using something like this? Do you guys, I'm assuming you train and you have videos that show people how to use it, and hands-on is probably, I've noticed here at the show that a lot of people are coming over and there's a lot of, sort of getting into it and looking at it. So what's the learning curve? How hard is it to learn how to use your system?
Yeah, so we do typodont demonstrations at the shows, and we now offer webinars and videos online, of course. But once you see it, I think visually, when you see it demonstrated, it's like, oh yeah.
I get it.
And it's going to take, I'm going to say, a handful of times in the office to get the feel of it. But once you get it, you're like, this is a dream. And it is going to be quicker, I think, than most other options out there.
Right. And so what are some of the things that the dentists that use it say? I know a lot of people are coming by and saying hi, and they talk about how great it is. Is it save time too? Is it an efficiency thing that helps them, or is it just a better restoration?
Right. Yeah, it does save time for them, especially because you can stack our rings, so you can do multiple restorations at one time.
Okay.
So that's really a time saver when that situation arises. And some things that they say about it, I think it is just the quality of the outcome. You know, that the restorations are they're beautiful.
Right.
They're recreating the natural anatomy of the tooth, and so it's achieving all the things that they want it to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? Any idea on the percentage of restorations that use your product are being done? We know amalgam is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are probably some docs out there still doing amalgam. I doubt they listen to podcasts, but who knows, maybe they do.
Right.
But the majority are composite restorations.
Right.
And so
then you still got a fair amount of Tafelmeyer users, because that's what's still taught in dental schools.
Right.
And dentists that have been using Tafelmeyers for 20 plus years,
right.
they're comfortable with it.
Sure.
And many of them do switch over and adapt to something new,
right.
but that's not always the easiest thing to do.
Right. How do we get them to switch? How do you get a dentist to go from what they learned in school, which may have been 20 or 30 years ago, which may have been appropriate at the time, but now with technology and advancements and new engineering, there's a better way to do it. How do you break that cycle?
Well, right. So I think we offer, like I said, being able to watch the videos. That's a huge request for us. Can we see videos of this? And we just started doing webinars with CE credit a year ago maybe, and they've exploded.
Right.
So there is this need for people to say, I want to see it done, I want to learn how to do it, to get over that a little bit of intimidation that's there in the beginning. Yeah. And then we give doctors 6 months to try it.
Okay.
It's our satisfaction guarantee. So that's above and beyond warranty and that sort of thing. And so you get 6 full months to try it in their office.
Right.
If at any point it's not working for them, we do a full refund, but it gives them a long time to test it, call in. We have excellent customer service that'll walk them through questions and problems they're having. And so I think that there is the support that they need there.
Right. Yeah, which we need. I mean, we all even in our lives, right, you sometimes get stuck using something, doing something, and you want to feel comfortable that if you change, it's going to work, and someone will be there to walk you through it.
Right.
So, excellent. Well, that wraps it up for another episode of the SWYP 7-Minute Podcast. I want to thank Sara for joining us here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Check it out.